Hey Pete's fans, welcome back to part 2 of the Best of Thursday Night Live, presented by Subway.
Tonight's game features our favorite moments from the first season of TNL. The Peterborough Petes acknowledge that the land that we gather on to cheer on your mighty maroon and white is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Mississauga adjacent to the Haudenosaunee territory and the territory covered by the Treaty 20 and the Williams Treaty. Fans, we remind you to please stay alert at all times when on your couch during the pregame activities. During the game and at stoppages in play, pucks, sticks, and other flying debris can cause serious injury. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. Fans, you are reminded that no objects are to be thrown on the ice at any time unless it is a hat for a Pete's hat trick. In the case of a hat trick, you can retrieve your hat from your front porch after the game. Thanks for your cooperation.
To start off the second half, we're going to go to our conversation with Greg Millen. Greg shared some of his favorite memories from his time in Peterborough. Here's that conversation.
Well, it's still my home. I mean, I live in Bridgenorth, Ontario, and love it here. We met my wife from Peterborough. We raised our 4 children in Peterborough, so this is my home, and it's been my home ever since really I was a Pete. Of course, the days of Rogers Cottage and the hockey schools and all of those memories are spectacular that we all hold close to our heart. And again, Roger being such a huge influencer in all of us that it's something that I'll always treasure that way. And Peterborough's my home. I mean, it's just as simple as that. I think that tells you all you need to know about what I think about the area and how everything has turned out for me. And it's been a great place to raise 4 children. And it's still a wonderful place to enjoy the outdoors and all the things that Peterborough has to offer. So certainly I would never have ended up here. I would never have ended up in the National Hockey League without the Peterborough Petes.
On December 17th, we were joined by TSN sportscaster James Duthie. James was on the broadcast for Sidney Crosby's golden goal back in 2010 in Vancouver. James actually almost missed that goal, though. Here's the story about that.
The other thing is after the Americans scored in the last minute to tie it, it got so nervous that it was actually quite quiet in overtime, to the point where the story I always tell people is that I think I had a BlackBerry back then, so much time has changed. And my son was playing a playoff game back in Aurora, Ontario, where we live. And I kept checking the scores. And I was looking down at my phone for a second to try, and somebody had texted me. And I only looked up because I heard Crosby say Iggy. It was that clear in the arena. You can hear it on the broadcast, but in the arena, it was even louder because everyone was so quiet and nervous. So that's the only reason I looked up and saw the goal, is because I heard Sid yell Iggy. And imagine if I'd have missed the biggest goal, or one of the biggest goals in Canadian history, for checking out a Bantam hockey score, but I almost did.
Get into the season of giving with our holiday flex pack, which includes a Pete's yearbook, a collectible Pete's goalie mask, a Pete's ornament, a Pete's game puck, and 6 flex ticket vouchers redeemable over the next 2 seasons. Be one of the first 100 to purchase, and your flex pack will include a Pete's signed photo.
Now for one of our more heartfelt moments. Pete's alum Tyler Rollo became incredibly close with his billets Joe and Kristen Ferris while he was in Peterborough. Tyler came on to share some of his favorite moments with them. Let's go check that out at number 8.
And they're basically my best friends, so it's nice to spend summers with them, kind of visit every once in a while. I know, they're I'm always, welcome to anything, any idea, like if we want to go anywhere. So I think our connection is awesome. And if the kids have anything near, I remember I was here and I went to go see Anthony and Joe in Niagara. So they were in town. I went to go see him there, and it's just, it's awesome, right? So I think our connection is probably the best ever, and I don't think it's ever going to slow down.
No, and the connection, like even our little guy, you wore 9 for a while, which was Tyler's number when he was here, and then he wanted to have a higher number. So we actually were talking about, what would your hockey number be? And he's like, well, he really wanted a number in the 70s, and he actually came up with 72. And we asked him what his reasoning was, and the time that he picked it, he was 9. Tyler's number was 9, and he's born in the 9th month. So I mean, Tyler clearly has left a lasting impression on our children. So it's just nice to know that the relationship hasn't just been with Joe and I, it's also been with our kids too. So it's something we'll cherish forever, truly and honestly. He's like a son to Joe and I.
Moment number 9 takes us back to our chat with Pete's goaltender, Hunter Jones. Hunter plays both guitar and sings in his spare time. Hunter shared how he picked up that hobby in the next story here.
Yeah, so when I was about 13 years old, I wanted to go for the kids show The Next Star on YTV, and my dad wouldn't let me go because I was only a singer. And he's like, if you take the whole summer and teach yourself how to learn guitar, then we'll take you the next year. And I was like, so I must have been 12 at the time, because my first year on the show I was 13, so that was when I was 12. So I took that whole summer and just YouTubed guitar lessons and tried to learn how to play guitar, and taught myself, and then just kept practicing and practicing. And then that following year I went out for the first time on The Next Star, and got cut fairly quickly. And then the next year they told me to come back, and I got a bit further and came back for 3 years. And then my third year I actually went the furthest I ever got to the TV auditions, and I was actually able to be on TV for that. But honestly, it's pretty crazy how competitive it actually is for just a little kid singing show. There's, they go to all over the country for Canada, and there's, I don't know, at Toronto, it was like they filled the whole building. It was probably, I want to say, like 2,000 kids there, and they have to go through them all. And it's just like, because it doesn't cost anything to go and audition. Like, you just fill out your sheets, make sure everything's in order, and you go and sing in front of 2 or 3 people in a certain room, and there's 10 or 15 different rooms, and then they narrow it down to, who do they think they're good, and then you have to it's 3 weeks of auditioning before you actually get on TV. So I was pretty proud of myself for being dialed down to probably the top 20 in Toronto for coming back for the TV audition. So that was kind of the end of the road for that, after I was 14 years old, and then 14 or 15 years old. And then I was just entering in fairs and festivals to sing and make a little bit of money. I was probably the only money I was making when I was 14 years old to afford to play Call of Duty games or whatever on the PS3 or PS4. So I was just singing at the London Fair, Western fairs, and just having fun with it. And I've always liked performing. I like being on stage, and I still say that to my girlfriend and to my parents this day, is that I never shy away from pulling the guitar out around the campfire or whatever. And I know my friends enjoy it when they're down to hear me sing, but other than that, I'll just keep the speaker on.
Sounds good. Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a world junior hero? Well, in our final moment of Thursday Night Live, we take a look at our conversation with Akil Thomas, and he tells us about what was going through his head when he became the golden boy in last year's World Juniors. Here's number 10 right now.
Yeah, so, I was the type of kid who was basically glued to the TV come Christmas, just for World Juniors happening every year. Loved it. Probably my favorite part about hockey. And so just to make the team was so surreal to me. And, to be playing in the tournament, to be on TV in front of my friends and family was awesome. And, obviously I didn't score a goal into the final game, so just felt like, thinking about the finals, it's a good time to score. So, obviously got lucky and got that shift at the end of the game. And, all I really remember was kind of poking a puck and kind of seeing I have space to maybe, make a move on the goalie here. And it all happened in a matter of a second. So
thank you to our guests for joining us this evening. The Peterborough Petes would like to thank you for tuning into Thursday Night Live presented by Subway. We hope you join us in the new year. Our next show is on January 7th. Thanks for tuning in, and good night.